Hi everybody. Today, hold on to your butts because I've actually got something to say. I've made myself very makeshift notes. And what I want to talk about is why I like Doom. Now Doom for me has been since like the very beginning. It's the first person shooter I ever played or ever even saw. So it made a pretty big impact. Not to mention around the same sort of time, for some reason my parents let me watch Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2. After watching those, I played Doom 2 and realised that Evil Dead 1 is like Doom, where you have the single barrel shotgun, and Doom 2 is like Evil Dead 2, where you have the double barrel shotgun, and of course the chainsaw as well the whole way through. So I was watching Doom while playing Doom, and my whole world eventually turned into Doom, as horrible and macabre as that sounds. So I wanted a Doom film to come out, and when it did, I was pretty unimpressed. It was a similar sort of thing of when the Mario Brothers film came out, and thinking, right, when is this going to become Mario Brothers? And it never sort of did. The same thing happened to me when watching Doom. I was like, when's this going to become Doom? Fair enough, there were elements of Doom. It had the chainsaw, it had the big force gun, for some reason it was called that. It also had the first person shooter bit, but it all just felt pretty stale to me. However, it was a lot better than what we had come out recently, Doom Annihilation. Now, if you can make a film about a video game, never ever have Annihilation in the title. It seems to be a curse. We had Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and now we've had Doom Annihilation, and they both stunk. To be fair, I have a little bit of a soft spot for Mortal Kombat Annihilation, I will admit. But Doom Annihilation, it was just an absolute stinker. It felt like it was taking place in an office the whole time, and with demons. And I think an imp threw a fireball at one point, but I may have just drifted off. So yes, I have always wanted a Doom movie, and I think making this cardboard film myself at the moment is probably the closest I will ever get to making a Doom film myself. I haven't got the education or the know-how of how to make real proper films or how to direct them or anything like that. So ideally, hats off to anybody that's a filmmaker. It must be really hard, stressful, and a massive risk these days because they just cost so much to make. So I'll cut you guys a little bit of slack whoever made Doom Annihilation, but not much. Ideally now, with video games being so advanced, like we've got Doom Eternal, maybe we should just leave video game films alone. They seem to be a bit of a deadly ground to step on when making a video game film. None have really been amazing apart from maybe the Sonic movie and Mortal Kombat and maybe a few others. Maybe Silent Hill, that was not too bad one. But it just seems to be a little bit of a rocky road when making a video game film. I mean, Doom Eternal that came out recently, it has such great cutscenes and such a great story, and the guns and the violence are so well done that do we really need to make a film anymore? The video games look so good that it just works so well. Hear me out and take Ghostbusters, for example. So we had Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2, and the video game, which people consider to be the third installment. I have to agree, I didn't like what they did in the end. Now, I have heard they're making a Doom film pretty much straight after Annihilation. I don't know how it's going to go, but I've heard a person that could be playing the Doomslayer, and I am a little bit not too sure about it. Now they've decided to go for John Cena to play the Doom guy. I think he looks fantastic as the Doom guy, but I don't know. He would fit the part, and I think he'd be fantastic. However, my major gripe with it is the fact that John Cena isn't Doom guy. He is Duke fucking Nukem. He is Duke Nukem, and that is it. You dye his hair blonde, you give him some shades, and he will be amazing as Duke Nukem. Please, 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 let the guy play Duke at least once. With Duke Nukem Forever, that was such a big failure, I just think we need Duke Nukem back before he fades into obscurity. He is such an iconic character that we can't let him disappear. We need him back, and we need you, John Cena, to play him. That's all I have to say about that. Like I said before, I haven't got the know-how of really making films, but if I was to make a Doom film, oh god, how would I do it? I think I'd probably definitely go down the Evil Dead route. Absolute carnage, blood and guts, really flipping disturbing. Maybe steer a bit closer to Evil Dead 1 with all the really cool practical effects and stuff like that. I wouldn't want any CGI in it, but that's just my preference. The chainsaws and the double barrels and just go into the detail of all the weaponry and stuff. I mean, we're talking about Satanism. We're talking about tortured bodies everywhere. We can't go back to this stale, stupid environment of being in office labs with people in clean uniforms and makeup on. It's fucking hell. It's not nice. So it just needs to be gritty. I mean, get Luc Besson to direct it or something, who did Nil by Mouth. You ever seen that film before? Jesus Christ. Now, who would I choose to be the Doomslayer? An easy choice would probably be Tom Hardy, but I wouldn't want to go there. He's a great actor, but he just does everything that sort of guy would be. So I think we need a new Doomslayer. Now, hear me out on this one, but did you ever see Psycho, the remake with Vince Vaughn? Well, that wasn't that great. And then I saw The Lost World of Vince Vaughn, and I was like, Vince Vaughn, he's not your macho guy type person. He doesn't shoot anybody once with his massive gun that he has in Jurassic Park 2. But then I saw Brawl at Cell Block 99, and I was surprised with his acting, and I was surprised with the way he fights and acts and stuff like that. I mean, he doesn't do much talking in the film, but as a Doomslayer, I think he'd be pretty good. Can I just play a clip to back my statement up?
Every once in a while, I see a man in that chair who could just as easily be on this side of the table.
That muscle just for show? Helps me lift stuff.
Man of principle.
Relinquish it now.
You know the difference between right and wrong, and you have a moral compass. I knew before you told me that you got an American flag in your home. You probably got more than one.
I mean, can you see what I'm saying? He'll make a good Doomslayer. I mean, there's other people out there, but I think he'd be pretty damn good. And that film is mental, by the way, check it out. I want to talk briefly about the ideas that I had for a Doom film. These are basically scenes that I have in my head because I work as a cleaner, and there's been points where I've had to clean basically a football-sized floor once. And it was weeks after weeks after weeks mopping this giant floor for 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. And during that time, it got me thinking of ideas for my own Doom film. It's basically scenes, and I watch a lot of movies, so I get a lot of inspiration for scenes in movies that I could take and put into my own ideas and my own films. So for a Doom film, Doom is basically about you avenging the death of all your buddies. All your buddies have been sent to hell and killed off, and you're going to avenge their deaths and potentially save your rabbit at the end. The rabbit will make a part of my Doom film. So basically the first part of the Doom film will not actually feature Doom Guy. And his name isn't Doom Guy, his name isn't Doom Slayer. I just want it to be Doom. He's given this name a sort of like a Full Metal Jacket. Private Joker, Animal Mother, Private Pile. His name is Doom. Basically because he's a moody bastard. That's how he got his name. Doom. He's doom and gloom. He's not on screen a lot of times because he's sitting on his own, angry and pent up and aggressive, and he always mates are sitting there in their army gear chatting away, just joking around. They're not as experienced as Doom, they haven't got that drive to kill as much as Doom, but they're messing around and all playing around. And if you can just picture the scene from Inglourious Bastards when they're all sitting around and they have the captured Nazi, that is why I want to get that scene. So they're trying to get information about hell from this scientist or something that has been meddling with the dark arts or something like that, and they're gonna kill him or something like that. They're like, right, if you, I'm sorry about this, man, but if you don't give us the fucking information that we need, we're gonna call Doom. And we just don't want to do that. So just give us the information, and it's like Inglourious Bastards, he could just go, fuck you, and fuck all of you bastards, or whatever. And they go, okay, call Doom Guy, and then, you know the bit in Inglourious Bastards where with this bat, something we can try and incorporate something like that and do. I don't know, but it's just kind of completely ripping off that. But if we can just maybe merge it into our own thing, that'd be cool. But in my mind, I've just have that introduction as Doom, and Doom comes out, all his dog tags or something. I'm really ripping off Inglourious Bastards, but I've got this really cool introduction of how you could bring Doom Guy out. And he walks out and it's just like, and he goes, tells me exactly what he wants to know. And then he walks back into the tunnel. Going back to your buddies and stuff, it's all about character development. So basically, you your buddies become your buddies as well, because the character development I want to make so strong, with the buddies all talking and meddling around and joking around, that you actually become to like these guys. So, say halfway through the film, or a third of the way through the film, or whatever, then when they all die, you actually feel for these guys that have been killed, and you become Doom. You become the Doom Slayer, because you want to revenge your buddies, the death of your buddies, and they get killed in some pretty horrible ways as well, because it's hell. So you become the Doomslayer, so you are now in his place, angry that these cool guys have been killed. No dogs will die in my film ever. That is the rule. No animals will be killed in my film. None. And there's also another scene as well, where he has to face the Archvile. And the idea I got from this was listening to the Alien 3 soundtrack. Now, despite what you think of Alien 3, I think Alien 3 is a good film, but the score is excellent. I love the score for Alien 3, and I don't think many of you can deny that. The score for Alien 3, the film isn't great, but the score is brilliant. And I was listening to the soundtrack for Alien 3, and there's some music from that which would be excellent. And it's basically this: he goes into a room, the door shuts behind him, and you know him Doom when you hit a room which is bad. It all goes red, and he goes into this room, and there's an Archvile. Door opens, and the key is there, but the Archvile door opens, and there's an Archvile standing there. And he checks his shotgun, no ammunition. Plasma rifle, no cells. BFG, nothing. He hasn't got anything. So he's like, shit. And Doom isn't going to talk at all in the film. He is basically a mute. This is basically going to be kind of like a silent movie. But like, it's all basically done on visuals. There's not going to be any talking. That's what the Doom films in the past did wrong. It's going to be a visual gore fest and just beat 'em up type thing. So he's like, nothing. And he might murmur words to himself. It's a bit like that film Hobo with a Shotgun, where he murmurs weird words to himself. It doesn't really make much sense, but like, it's just funny. So he gets in the room and he goes, looks up, and I want him, Doom, to have made up the names for the creatures. So he's like, I don't know why he would call them these names, but like, if he just sees it and he knows what it is, he's like, oh, fuck. And he could sort of like get angry because he knows what he's got to fight, but it just seems a burden to him that he has to fight an Archvile. He can kill it, he knows he can kill it, he hasn't got any ammunition, he knows he's going to kill it, but he just doesn't know how yet, but it's a burden, and it might hurt him a little bit. He doesn't really care, because pain doesn't really mean anything to him. So anyway, he goes to fight this Archvile, he's like, oh, fuck, and he sees a shell on the ground, he's like, right, get the shell, it moves out of his hand, he's clumsy, he knocks it over, and then he sees the Archvile, but I want the Archvile to kind of like take its time with summoning the fire, because I want it to go in more detail of what he's actually doing. And the Archvile will kill you in one go, but it needs to summon the fire. So he sort of does the whole thing, whereas in Doom sees it doing its thing with its evil eye sort of thing, looking at Doom, and it summons the fire. But it's taking time, and in that time Doom's trying to load the shotgun. It's sort of like going back to the Archvile, back to Doom, back to the Archvile, back to Doom. Eventually Doom gets the thing, puts the shell in, bucks the Archvile in the nose. The Archvile like that, and then you just see basically as the Archvile is sort of coming like that, holding his nose, you see Doom walk around, put the double barrel to his head, and blows his flipping fucking face off. That was one idea I had, but the music goes so well with it. If you listen to the music and the storyboard I made for it, like when I was really getting excited, I thought I might be able to make a Doom film myself. It works so much better than like probably actually explaining it. The other scene would be the ending. Now, I don't know if I'd include a spider mastermind, but I wanted it to end it with the cyber demon. I always thought the cyber demon was more powerful than the spider mastermind, and it is. So I think the ending would be with the cyber demon, personally. So Doom has got his blue armour on, he's tanked up, he's got his BFG, he's got his rockets, he's got his shotgun, everything. He goes in, sees a cyber demon, tells it to go fuck itself or something like that. Which, and then he'll just basically get, and the cyber demon shoots 3 times. He gets 3 rockets hit to him, knocks all his guns off like that, and he's in a bad way. He's on 5% health. You know what 5% health looks like? The blood running down here, out his nose, out his mouth. He might do the little smile thing and show all the blood in his teeth like that. And he's sitting behind a rock, and all the rockets are whizzing over his head, and all these things and rocks are falling down. You can tell I'm getting excited. And then he'll see like a medipack and and I want it to sort of like be close to the game, so the blood runs up back into his mouth and stuff like that. Attention to detail. And then he goes, right, he gets some gaffer tape. I don't know where he gets the gaffer tape from, but he's got gaffer tape on him, and he gets the shotgun, which is not working, it's broken or something, and he gaffer tapes the shotgun to his leg, and then he gaffer tapes the broken because it's been broken because it hit by the rocket. Gaffer tapes the plasma rifle to his leg, and then walks up to the cyber demon, confronts him, and the cyber demon just gets his gun like that, ready to shoot him, shoots a rocket, but he jumps as he shoots the rocket. And do you know in Quake 3, I want it to be a little nod to Quake 3, but you know in Quake 3 how you use the rocket launcher to bash yourself up? He's going to use that to kill the cyber demon. So he's got that, and he pulls the chainsaw out as he's in the air, after he's been hit by this, and the shotgun and the plasma rifle taped up have made it so he can kind of like take the impact of the blast and not blow his legs off or something like that. So because he's such a hard bastard, and he sort of just hoped this would work, and it did. So he's flying through the air, he kicks the chainsaw out, and then, do you know that shot from the cover of Evil Dead 1, where you have Ash doing that with the chainsaw and the blood's going down his face like that, and he's got the chainsaw? That will kind of like be the final image of him flying in slow motion towards the cyber demon, and it would kind of, and then you have this shot of like the cyber demon like that, like sort of that way, like that, and then him sort of like that, and they'd be sort of flying through the air like that, meeting together, and that's how it would end. And I think that'd be so fucking cool. He doesn't get back home because he likes being in Hell, Doom. And I think at the end of Doom Thy Flesh Consumed, or is it Doom 64, he decides to stay in Hell in case nothing else happens. That's kind of like where it could end. Is sort of like him, will Doom Slayer or the Cyber Demon win? And he's sort of like got the chainsaw, the last weapon, the last weapon you've got to sort of take him out. And do I sound excited? Well, all I've got at the moment is I've got a really good song, or it's a score from the film Dunkirk. Now, I know Dunkirk won't work very well, you think, in a Doom film. Doom is all about rock music, you know, but like, I want this cardboard film to kind of like be a celebration of Doom 1, Doom 2, Final Doom, Sigil, all the good stuff, you know. Not Doom 3, because I have to do something completely different, but I want it to be a celebration, so I'm going to use a different score of music, and this music will be from the film Dunkirk. And I really, really love the score from Dunkirk, but it's going to be kind of like, I want to show this how the Doom Slayer, or I keep calling him Doom Slayer, Doom becomes so fucking tough. And it's like, you're going to show the weapons at the start, you're going to show the power-ups, you'll show the demons and make the demons look really ferocious and fearful. And eventually, when the music kicks in, you'll see Doom tear them all apart. So like, show the levels, show this, and so it's basically mounting up to this music, which is actually raising up in volume. It's sort of like a... What I'll do is I'll play the music for you while I'm doing today's bits and bobs, and you can let me know what you think of the score, but I think it's fantastic. But do let me know, and let me know what you think, and we can go from there. So I'm going to go outside now and film some bits and bobs. I hope you've liked listening to me. I kind of ramble on about this, but I get so excited because I've wanted to make a Doom film for like probably the last 15 years. And when you're working as a cleaner, cleaning floors, and it gives you time to think about all the dreams you'd love to do. And making a Doom film was one of them. And I feel like I'm fulfilling my dream a little bit by making this Doom film. So it's all good, and I will see you once again for more late night reviews.